He's absolutely Jason, he's absolutely gay. He'll absolutely brighten up the darkest rainy day. He's funny and loves movies, he's smart and he's a Jew. He's an actor and an activist and wants to hear from you.
Hey everybody, I'm Jason Stuart and welcome to Absolutely Jason Stuart with my guest today, comedian Karen Rontowski, who's known as the psychic comedian, who just asked me as we started the show. She said, "Is this your theme song?" And I said, "No. What we do is we just play other people's theme songs."
That's why Jason loves me.
Wait, let's get the camera on this lovely, beautiful woman.
I'm trying to sit up straight.
So, yes, go. You can talk.
Comes out of my mouth that I think. So
it's okay. Well, that's what we're here for. This is called talk radio.
Yes, it's awesome.
It's on camera. So, this is my theme song, written by, of course, my Ashley Hunter, and sung by Ashley Hunter and David Kirsch, who wrote it with her. And I've been lucky enough to have it for the last couple of years. So you are known as a psychic comedian, and we met, I guess...
Cindy Byrne. Well, no, I think we met years ago. I have to tell you a funny story about
Please.
it. Okay, so when I was like this was like my third gig, I think I worked with you, and you were headlining, and some guy in the middle was on. Some guy was going crazy, and you...
In the audience?
Yes.
Oh.
Like heckling and being a pain.
It was a one-nighter?
It was one night, and you weren't on yet.
For those at home, a one-nighter is a gig that we do. Basically, it's a money gig.
Awful.
Yeah.
Oh. And you told me that it was the MC.
Closer to the mic.
You told me it was the MC's job to get rid of hecklers.
Oh, did I? Well, that was the hope. Maybe it was at this particular
yes,
gig.
You were just kidding. But yeah, but it was 100 years ago. And then the next time we met, I think... Oh, I know, Wendy Liebman's show.
Wendy Liebman does this wonderful show in North Hollywood, studio called Locally Grown.
Locally Grown. And you didn't know, I had let you know that our good friend Cindy Burns had passed away.
Oh, yes.
And then you and I went to the, it wasn't a funeral, it was a...
Memorial. Cindy Burns was the woman who developed the Funniest Housewives comedy tour that Julie Kidd is now taken over.
Yes.
And then we've done a couple of those together.
Yes.
And then we became the bestest of friends.
Yes. And then you were on my podcast, and the story goes on and on and on.
And now I'm really lucky to have you here, and I'm really, really excited. So how did the psychic thing start with you?
Well, I've always had, since I was a kid, I always had psychic experiences. So I was always like I always was into it. There was no skepticism ever. I just always was on that plane. And then I went to like 3 different tarot card readers in my life. And then I found this woman in San Diego that just everything she did it's very different. She's a very different reader. And that's where I kind of got my style from. And she said, you should get a tarot deck. So I got
What had you done before?
Not much. Maybe a little ghost hunting, or it's very hard because everybody's kind of...
Little ghost hunting. Yeah, a little ghost hunting like that is something that happens all the time.
Oh,
you know? Yeah. Well, I don't know about you. Brent, do you ghost hunt? I ghost hunt. Yeah. Thursdays we do it.
Yeah, sure. You get up
Thursdays we go ghost hunting.
You go, know what today's good for? Let's go talk to the dead.
Yes.
So then I got the tarot deck, and it's very different. Everybody is psychic, but the tarot deck is different in that you can get books, and it's something you can learn. You can tangibly learn it lesson by lesson, and that really accentuates your psychic power, and then the both kind of meet in the middle. But as for just trying to sit around and guess, ESP, that's very hard to develop. So I studied the cards for about 20 years, started reading on the road, and then one day I said, maybe I'll start to charge for this, and then it exploded. And so now my website, you can do comedy, or you can check out tarot, and you can get an appointment.
What's your website?
KarenRontowski.com.
And everybody can spell Rontowski.
Right, Rontowski.
Say that again?
RONTOWSKI.
And if anybody can't spell that and anything, all you have to do is go to jasonstewart.com, STUART, and talk to me, and I will send you to this wonderful woman. Before we even get into all this, you actually did the Tonight Show.
No, the Letterman Show.
Letterman Show, forgive me, which is even more hard to get on.
Yes.
So I want to hear that experience before we go on, because for a woman to do the Letterman Show, which is so rare, I think Wendy Liebman has done, and very few what I call comedians that are not already really famous for something else.
Break-ins. It's kind of a fascinating story because I sent a tape to Eddie Brill.
Eddie Brill is a comedian who booked the show for 100 years.
Yes, and at this point, he wasn't even booking the show. He was like the lead-in, like he would lead, like if there was agents, managers, and
so
stuff.
There's a person who does the actual, guarding the gate of guarding the gate.
Yes.
That shows how hard it is to get into the gate.
And a year later, he called me and he said, "You're going to be on Letterman," and people tell me I don't watch tapes, and he said, Dave is going to love this joke." Da, 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 da.
What was the joke? What did he love?
The joke was I only wear underwear with pictures of Santa Claus on them because then no matter what mood I'm in, I always know it's Christmas in my pants, which was a joke that also I had thought that same thing for years. For years I thought from that joke first came out, I could picture him saying something about that joke, and I didn't know what it was, but I was like, he was saying something about that joke. And then...
Were you living in New York at the time?
No, I was in San Diego. And you know what, too? Because Letterman was always the goal. You know what I mean? Like, he was the guy when I wasn't around for Johnny. So that was the goal. So you got to see it. Literally took Eddie 5 years to get me on. No joke. 5 years. And when the show ended, Dave came over and held my hand. And he stood there until the audience stopped. And he said... I hear it's always Christmas in your pants. And the crowd went nuts. And I said, it is. And he said, well, you're a very lucky lady. And that was just amazing because you don't usually see him address a joke. So it was fabulous.
Oh, my God. And how did the set go?
The set went great. It went so good. In fact, and talk about tarot cards, they bumped me, I think, 3 times. And
so you got paid 3 times?
No, they didn't. This time you didn't get paid unless you made it to the green room.
Oh.
And so they kept bumping me, but one time I got the tower card in the deck, which I'll show you that. I was supposed to be on the next day. They flew me. This was the card I got. They flew me all the way out. And when I got there, this is the card. I don't know if people can see it. It's like a terrible card, the tower card. It's like a building being blown up. And so I was like, okay, just forget it. Just go. And then when I got off the plane, they said, oh, we bumped you, and they flew me back home. So it was like, I was like, okay, what was that? The next day.
So even if they flew you, they still wouldn't pay you?
No, and they flew me back. They paid for everything else, though. So it was, I'm not going to argue with Letterman people.
No.
And then they called me the next day and said, you were so lucky you weren't here. It was the worst crowd in the history of the show, and the comic that you got bumped for bid it.
Oh my! So you got bumped for another comic?
Yeah. I'm not gonna say
weird.
Who, but yeah, it was. But it was semi-famous person.
Oh, tell me.
I'll tell you later. No. I'll tell you later.
Tell me so they can see the look on my face. Tell me. Oh, but you have to. I just want them to see the look on my face when you tell me.
No, I'm not gonna say.
Oh.
I swear to God, I have 2 secrets that I keep where there's names that I don't drop, and I'm not good at.
Oh, I wouldn't tell anybody. I promise.
Oh, okay. Well, yes, but anyways, it's a long story. You'll know why that I don't tell you after I do it. But I know it's a very complicated secret. But that was the tower card, which in tarot is when the universe comes and knocks you off the path you are to set you on the right path. And then I did it 2 weeks later, and it was great. Yeah, interesting, huh?
Wow, that's just amazing to me.
Yeah.
So I have only had one ghost experience.
Oh.
I think I've told you that when I was in my mom's house 9 months ago, and I was packing up her house to have her move from Palm Springs to Los Angeles back, she has a doorway that goes into the dining room, and there's no door there. And I'm with my mom. It's late at night. We're just packing. I had just done a set at the Purple Room, and we were packing some dishes afterwards. Mm-hmm. And at the doorway, I saw my dad in his 40s just go,
wow.
I didn't tell you this?
No.
It was like maybe 3-4 seconds. And my mother looked at me. She goes, oh, my God, you look like you just saw a ghost. I said, I just saw Dad. And what's really interesting is she just believed it. She didn't question it. Neither did my stepmother. And I never thought that my dad would be the one to show up.
Interesting.
Because my dad was never an artsy-fartsy kind of guy. My grandmother always used to say to me, my grandma Molly would always say to me all the time, I'll try to show up, for you somehow. So look for me. And if I could say hello.
But you saw him at your mom's house, right?
Yeah, and they've been divorced since 1977.
And did she and he live in that house before 1977? No. So it was just her house.
Her house where she lived with her ex, her number 4.
That's interesting
And she
because
lived alone there for 20 years.
that's interesting that you would match on that frequency, though. That
I was totally blown away by it. And I still, when I
Wow.
talk about it, I feel a little like maybe I didn't see it and I made it up. You know?
you saw it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus, they would believe you. I mean, you don't have anyone poo-pooing it, so I think this is probably not his first appearance.
He's only been passed for 5 years.
Does still
So he makes appearances to other people.
probably because nobody went, oh, that's not right, or maybe you thought that, or something like that.
But those are not psychic people. Those are just my stepmom and my mom.
Right. But you will. There's always somebody to tell you didn't see what you saw. So the fact that they kind of believed it so quickly just is kind of suspicious to me,
Huh.
in a good way.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a break right here with Karen Rontowski on Absolutely Jason Stewart. We will be back just a second. Please don't change the channel. And she's going to do my cards. So you're going to get to hear personal information about me in public on the radio as we speak. So we'll be back in just a second. Please stay with us. Don't change the channel. Oh my God, we don't have channels.
You guys make some noise. Come on. There we go. Who's a Michael Jackson fan up in here? All right, I need to see you guys dancing. Come on.
We are live on Zenna.tv and we'll be up here all night interviewing amazing artists.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Absolutely Jason Stewart with my guest Karen Rontowski, the psychic comedian, and she is going to do my cards.
You want to do something specific, or should we just go for a general read?
What do you think? I think specifics always more interesting.
Yeah, and then I can be more detailed.
Okay, so we had talked about this film that I was up for, Goldie. I found out I didn't get it.
Oh.
And you had told me that you thought it was going to change and go back and forth.
Oh, okay.
So I guess the specific thing would be the question, am I going to get a big film?
A big film. Okay, let's do.
We don't even have to do that film. We'll just say, am I going to be getting a big film
Okay, give me a time umbrella.
before the end of the year?
Okay. So, are you going to get a big film? And
With a good part by the end of the year. Oh my God.
yes, that's much more specific. Although there are some.
It opens it up than just this film, Goldie. You had told me before when we did it on your show that this
was
film was
in
going to go
flux?
back and forth, and they were going to try to get someone else, and they couldn't, and they were going to go back to me. And Karen now is putting the cards down. I'll let you know what's happening as it goes.
The funny thing is Hollywood projects, because they have so many. They are the hardest to read because they have so many moving parts. All right.
And this film, just to let people know, is produced by the same people that produced Spike Jonze's projects, and Rosie Perez is one of the producers on it.
Oh, so that was Goldie, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a lot of interest, but it has you ending the year in worry.
Oh.
I know, and worry about something. But I have to tell you,
Get off my show.
there's a detour here. Okay.
Is this about Goldie or is this about?
This is about films this year. By the end of the year, we're in August, so that's what, 6 months, right?
Yeah.
There's a change here, but this is the thing. It's pointing towards writing something more so than being in something. Okay, so I'm going to tell you it's not that there's no opportunities, but for big film in this time, it looks like either you're ending the year at something being like Goldie, where it's up and down, but it's not handled. But it has you kind of anxiety about it, which I'm sure that's just normal. So there's in between now and then, there's not a lot of change for films. Okay, so I'm not on films. I am looking at, there's something else over here going on that's not a film. Okay, I'm going to put it like that. There's also a change of umbrella of people, not like saying agents or managers, but of companies. So you just said that Spike Jonze has a company. This is something under a different company that you have not worked for before, but it's not a film. There's also something going on with a woman here that is a partnership or a friend helping you out, or she's connected to whatever this is that I'm talking about. And also here, the justice card is in your head, and I want to leave that card. It's a weird thing that I'm going to say, but it's pretty much, this is not about fair. Hollywood is not about fair. So that you'll get depressed as long as we keep judging it on
how long. This is a really sad reading.
Yes, but no, this part right here is not, and this writing part is not. If the only thing you want is film, yes, it's a sad reading. But there is something else going on here that I think you will want to take a look at, which could even be much better than film.
Let's go further on to that. Is this television? Maybe it's a television thing that I'm acting in.
Let's see. Yeah, or it
So
could be a
this is
series.
what happens is you become more specific in the reading.
Mm-hmm. And you know what else? I know that I'm not an actress, and I know that film is maybe the biggest thing, but I have to say,
Television is right now is it.
I was going to say Netflix is I'd prefer, I don't like to see movies. I'd prefer to see a series. Like right now I'm watching Ozark, and it's incredible.
Oh my God, I am too.
It's
I watched all 10 in a weekend.
Did you? I'm trying to stretch them out, but
I
it's still
can't.
good.
I can't.
And those two, Jason
I emotionally
Bateman
can't.
and
Laura
Laura
Linney,
Linney,
I can't.
amazing. So maybe it's more of a series type thing.
I can't stop myself.
Oh, I prefer those two movies.
I'm now
any day.
watching Deadwood. I have never watched Deadwood before.
Oh my God, that's my favorite, and I love.
God, fuck.
Oh yeah.
They're just the most filthy people I've ever seen in my
And
life.
I love the guy that plays the preacher. He's my favorite actor.
So the first season is not as good as the second, is what I was told.
Of Deadwood?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I loved it.
Oh.
All three, yeah.
There's
everything.
3 seasons.
There's a couple like Deadwood and The Wire and Oz that are just...
Oz.
Carnival was one of my favorites.
This is Brant off here. He just cannot help himself. See, when it comes to watching shows and becoming that, we're like obsessed, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
We become totally obsessed.
Oh, yeah. Well, the other one was OA. That was excellent.
I watched some of that.
That was up my alley. That was almost uncomfortable.
So now we're seeing a lot of old men with beards and people wearing lots of... there's a lot of wooden, I guess,
There's
spears.
a lot going on. I think you're going to have to call me halfway through for a reading. Wow. Okay. So there's a lot going on, and I have to tell you, when is your birthday?
January 13th.
So that's 1/13, so that's 5 and 1 is 6. Okay. This is actually more of a year for you for relationships. So that's what we should be reading. But there is something you will be working on that you'll be getting paid for, but I actually feel like it's something that might never get out. So there's a big change in it. But here's the thing. This is comedy. This is writing. This is a project that is off. Like it starts off with such hope, and you want to be careful with it because at some point it goes way off the rails. You have, I know, but this is not a movie. We're talking about a TV thing now. I keep wanting to say there are people coming in or people changing. So I don't know if that's agent or manager, and I don't want to make anybody upset on the air, but people are changing. The people
I don't think my agent has ever watched this show.
Oh, okay. Well, they're out.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever watched this show. I'm just still getting them to try to watch the movie Birth of a Nation.
Oh God, that's funny.
I'm teasing.
But there is a bigger. There's a bigger umbrella that you should be under that's going to start opportunities, okay? This project that I'm talking to you about, okay, I really do want to say series, okay? And so we're going to use that word. It is going to start off like gangbusters, like moving fast, and then it hits a wall and everything changes. Part of that is that the paperwork is off. I don't know how, it's not you or them or the contracts. Their paperwork is off. Whoever's doing their paperwork, it is very, very sloppy, and the pages that were signed need to be totally what's the word?
Calibrated.
Can you say that word?
Yeah.
Is that the right word?
Yeah.
And that is going to be over here. So this is not your going to make you famous thing. It's going to keep you working, and it's going to get set off the rails.
I just did a pilot presentation. I just did a couple more little films.
See, you're always doing something.
Yeah, so this is just my life.
But here's the question, too, is what are your expectations?
Oh, God.
Like what fits into I made it?
God, that's a hard one. I feel like I already have made it.
Right.
In my mind, I'm a working actor and comedian, and I develop projects, and I work here, so I don't feel like I'm not made it. I feel like I want to move to the next level. So when I said a big film, which will I be getting a good role in any of this that people will see? I mean, like doing Birth of a Nation 2 years ago and having it now on HBO has really made a big difference in the kind of things people call me in on. There's a lot more respect.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a good question to ask. Will any other acting roles come from Birth of a Nation? Because that's how Swedish Dicks came from, which is a comedy show, which is really weird, and they just loved me in that, and they just made an offer.
So wait a minute, what's the show?
It's called Swedish Dicks. It's a comedy series. It's on Pop that starts today. For those who want to see it, started Peter Stromar, and Keanu Reeves has a arc in it, and there's a lot of big stars that are guest starring on it. Margaret Cho and Eric Roberts from here, and Anthony LaPazza, and
okay, so let's see if that's what I was talking about. Is that wrapped?
No, the second season is almost done.
Okay.
But the first season is just starting on Pop now.
Okay. I wonder if that's what I was talking about.
Well, I only had one episode. I just guest starred.
Okay. And so, what was that question?
So far.
Yeah. And you just said to me, you said, will anything come from Birth of a Nation?
Yes, any more, because what's interesting about being in a film that big is that first it's in the movie theaters, then it's on DVD, then it's on streaming, and now it's on HBO and Dish, and other things, and people keep, so people, sometimes it takes people a year or two to actually watch something, don't you find?
Yep. You know what?
Especially when a film has such an emotional roller coaster kind of film, people want to be prepared emotionally to watch it.
Okay. I have it in 2 parts.
I wouldn't think it's not more than 2, honestly.
But I mean, the way I'm reading the energy shift.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Because the first one is accolades without action. So you will get a lot of stuff. Okay. Is your agent a female?
No.
Okay. There's a female that comes in here somewhere that has to do with this change. And the second wave is where the action comes in, where there is stuff coming and parts coming. This may be, this layout that I'm looking at right now, you're going to think, well, how could that have not done anything except give people say good things? It's almost like right after that, it starts to move. Like the timing is odd.
No. It doesn't feel odd at all. That's exactly what's happened.
Oh, okay.
And I think with a film this big, this dramatic, and this powerful, it's in this historic, and it's such a brilliant piece of work.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to have 8 scenes in this film, just to have this keep going.
Right.
I think that's what's happened. So I've gotten several jobs from it.
Oh, okay. So, and mostly accolades, that's what I'm getting. Accolades first, timing off, actions later. Stuff with it later.
Does later mean like years or?
We can look, but I do feel like, and time is the hardest thing in tarot. Okay, it really is the hardest thing. But we had put that time umbrella of 2017. Will you get any more in 2017?
Oh, so maybe by the end of the year, maybe by January.
That's what I'm thinking. And also, it's such a thing because it seems like January is forever off.
No, January's close.
I know. And time,
honey, 40 years, a couple months is not a big deal to me. I got a vacation to go on. I got a Vegas date.
Yeah.
I'm booked up until I'm going to my short film, Like Father, just got into another film festival, the October Film Festival, which will be in New York, October. You have to go to. I can't remember. The beginning of October, first week, it's going to be there, and then it just got into another one in Palm Springs.
And so that's like this accolades that are building before it gets to action. So
makes total sense.
Yeah,
I'm busy.
You're busy. You know what you're doing. Oh,
we got to take a break. Okay, we'll be right back here at Absolutely Jason Stuart, and she's still doing my cards. So this is really interesting. We'll be back in just a second. Please stay with us with a brilliantly funny and charming Karen Rontowski, this psychic comedian.
Hi, I'm Vicki Abelson.
Who the fuck is Vicki Abelson?
Hello. I wrote a book called Don't Jump: Sex, Drugs, Rock and Roll, and My Fucking Mother. Not my mother, Andy Stone's mother. Andy Stone is my heroine, and she was addicted to everything pretty much except heroin.
Oh my God. Oh yes. She just totally captures the excitement of rock stars.
And famous athletes and famous comedians. Sort of an insider's view from the outside.
The warmth and wit of Vicky's writing knocked me out. In a good way, not like Cosby. Too soon?
Don't jump. Sex, drugs, rock and roll, and My Fucking Mother.
Damn, that was going to be the name of my book.
Vicki wrote a book?
Vicki Abelson's long-awaited new book, Don't Jump, is finally here. Don't miss it. Who the fuck is Vicki Abelson?
I like to sing, dance, pretend, and I like to have fun.
Someone was suspected of being responsible, but it was all hushed up.
Started off with this. Let's say hello to a couple people, and then we'll do another. Go ahead, set up your cards.
Okay, what's the question?
The question will be about.
I'll get it.
Will I get a TV series, or is that something?
We're on.
Oh, and we're back. So I am sitting here looking at all the people who are watching us on Facebook Live. I'm going to do a big shout out to my friend Daly Pike, who's an old comedian friend who I just adore, who was so kind to me when I first started and such a supportive guy. He really was. He was really a mentor of sorts when I first started out. And he also, I think, if I'm correct, was the warm-up guy in the Arsenio Hall show for a long time. And, and my dear friend Shane Lucas is on, and he has always been an incredibly supportive guy, and I love him, and he's so sexy. And then let's say hello to Scott Sketch Allen. I got to read this because this is, my man crush for you is so deep that I grew a beard and shaved my thick, luxurious hair. Luckily, my eyes are blue, so I don't need an organ transplant. Scott, that is way, way too sweet. I don't even know what to say. I'm happy, yet I'm uncomfortable. And here is a picture, Karen, of him. So he looks a little angry in that picture.
He does.
I could show you guys the picture. It's on Facebook.
Is his arm hurt?
No, that's a tattoo.
fake?
That's a tattoo. He's an artist.
Oh.
So
I love that.
But you can't see because he's making a growly pose.
Oh, I see tattoos. I love tattoos.
Yes. So we're going to do one. Will I get a TV series? Because we're in the TV series realm.
Yes.
So we should be looking at
I
that.
asked a different question, but here's
Okay,
the
go
question
ahead.
I asked.
Go ahead.
I asked, tell me about the next project that Jason works on.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay. So here is the next project is somebody will have already walked away. So this might be a part you're getting from someone.
That's
or
happened to
something
me
like
a
that?
lot in my career.
Oh,
being,
does it?
being the second person picked because they couldn't get someone more famous, or they got someone that didn't work out, or they wanted someone that was a more creative choice because it was too dull, or it didn't fit in with what they were saying. And hey, can you come in and save the day?
Right. And actually, and then it shows this woman again, and this is not the same woman, but I just say woman.
Wow.
Which it doesn't matter. I mean, women are probably 50% of the industry, so that's a safe.
I
bet.
don't have a woman in my life in terms
you
of
don't?
agents or managers right
well,
now.
this could be on she's the connection, but she might be the producer or the person or whatever. She's the launch, and it goes in immediately. Like you have to be here tomorrow or something like that.
Oh, gosh.
And it actually has some excitement to it because it's sort of a test of your. I don't want to say a test of your emotions because it's not that your emotions are off, but it's almost like it happens so fast. It's kind of like, well, I got to get this right. I got to get this done sort of thing. And it has fabulous energy to it in the way that what may have started out tense ends up being a friendship with many. And I think there's more females in this of whatever it is than males. You have the Three of Cups here, which is a lot of females moving around. So, but it's somebody's not there, and you got to be there tomorrow. So it's it's like the adrenaline. That's the word I wanted. Adrenaline is going to be exciting for you.
I wonder if it doesn't give you much chance to screw it up.
No, I know, because you're kind of like, I'm doing you the favor.
Well, then you said earlier the love thing. Let's go for love.
Let's go for love, because Jason is in a year 6. Okay, so that's a little numerology. So we add you for the people at home. This is how you find out the personal year in. Your January
13th.
13. So we got 1, 13. So we add 1 and 1 is 2. And we add that to the 3. That's 5. And then 2017 is 1. It puts you in a 6, which is good because 5s were our chaotic years. So last year may have been.
You
5.
had told me last time that I will be falling in love soon.
Yeah.
You said this is my time.
This is your year. This is your year to do it. Send it out. Are you out there dating? Are you out there?
I am dating someone now.
Ooh.
Since I've did your show, I've been dating someone for around 6 weeks.
Good. Okay. Do you want me to read them? You and them? That's a little.
I think that's too much on the air, but let's see if I meet somebody.
Maybe I know. I don't know. Maybe we should.
I don't.
We talked about the issues. Everybody has issues. I remember that.
Yes. It's so funny. In your show, I felt more open than I do on my own show.
Oh yeah. Well,
it's like being in my own backyard.
You're carrying you're the cart and the horse. I like this, Jason. Okay. Wow.
You said that he was going to be bald, and the guy I'm dating is not bald. He has an incredible head of hair.
Does he? Okay. Well, I'm going to say I could have called that wrong. I did. I don't know where I'd get that information.
Maybe I was looking at myself in the mirror.
Oh. I very much like what's going on with you. Okay. This card that's in your head right there, it's the Ace of Swords, which in a different place is the stop card, but that's not what it's going. It's showing some sort of action or movement forward. Is this guy going on vacation with you? Are you guys planning a trip?
I'm going on vacation, but not with him. I had a vacation planned previously.
Previous with him?
Before I met him. And it's with my friend Ernie.
Oh, okay. But I would actually, it's like the next level is coming with this person.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the card of like relationship and this is too, and this means yes.
I'm going to say his name to you in your ear.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Do you see it? Because I don't want to say it on the air just because I think it's a little too personal.
I agree with you. This I'm just going to say it's going in the right direction.
Wow.
Yeah, I like this a lot. You have no negative cards. This one in your head is the only one that I want to say there's a the next level is to go. But these are fabulous cards. Oh, that might be why the world card came up, because that's name sounds a little it's not a Bill or a Ted or a
No.
Okay, but I also think you guys is either a trip or a weekend or a come with me to this or something like that would be great.
Oh, I always like a little vacation getaway.
Was this hard to get this started?
Everything is hard.
Okay, because that was just saying that it was a little hard, but man, it is on the right track now, James.
We'll see
These
what
are
happens.
Great cards. Okay.
And you sure it's him?
I'm sure it's you're in the lover's card now, which would put him there. Yeah. You're in it. You're in it now.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know who the bald guy is. Was that me or was that Kira?
You.
Was me? Okay. I don't know how I would read that. That's
Maybe it was me. Look in the mirror and you got confused.
No, I don't think so. Anyways, but okay, so that's what I have. So
let's do the future.
Okay.
Oh, we're going to take a break.
Take a break.
God, this is like going into, it's like we're on fast forward. So we're going to take a second. We'll be back with my friend, the psychic comedian Karen Rontowski. We love you all. We'll be back in a second. We're going to share some dates also where people can see both of us. We'll be back in just a moment. Please stay with us.
Rocket rock band founded in 1983, then reunited in 2016. Please welcome Rough Gut.
All right, everybody, your co-host here, Chris Hager.
Hey, Amir to Rock. That's Amir to Rock. Dave Alford,
AKA Rockin' Dave.
Rockin' Dave. Everybody knows Rockin' Dave. Who's missing?
Actually, yeah, right. Actually, yeah. Paul's out in Vegas, and he wanted to be here, but could not make it today. Matt's, no, actually he doesn't. His excuse is not as good.
We're not gonna.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Matt.
He does have a pretty good.
Miss you, bro.
We do miss you. What is it like starting again? How crazy is that?
Not only is it unfinished business, but it's nothing short of a miracle.
Everybody's still alive. That was the first poster that Warner Bros. Made of us.
Pointing. Oh, the 80s pointing.
84?
86.
Okay,
86.
Jackson Guitars, now GJ2 Guitars, likes to refer to us as the San Diego Mafia.
We actually, believe it or not, paved the way for a lot of those
I know
bands.
you did.
We just wanted to announce that we are actually working with Wendy Dio again now, and we're real excited about that.
She was your manager to begin.
She was our manager all through the 80s.
We're talking about new music now?
We can talk about new music.
Let's talk about new music. What you guys got? Come on, bring it.
So before we do the future, welcome back, everybody. I want to talk about where people can see you coming up.
Okay.
And how they can, if they want to get their cards read, how can they contact you? How does all that work?
They can go to KarenRontowski.com and you have your choice of comedy or tarot.
Ron, R-O-N.
RNTOWSKI.
Okay.
Also, if you can't remember that, psychicstandup.com or paranormalkaren.com. Those are a little easier. And my web series, Paranormal Karen, is on there. That is,
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. And then there's also a place you can click there if you want to make a tarot appointment. It's $40 for 30 minutes and $75 for an hour. And 90% of my clients are over the phone. So nobody has to worry if they're not in Los Angeles. And Burbank Comedy Festival, 15th, the 17th, and the 18th.
Wow.
Kira and I are doing our podcast live at 5 p.m., Burbank Flappers on the 18th, and we're so excited.
And I'm doing a show with you on the 16th.
On the...
No, wait, is it the 16th?
24th.
I'm sorry, the 24th.
Yes.
At Flappers Comedy.
At Flappers, Psychic Stand-Up, yes.
Flappers Comedy Club. And if people are in Los Angeles, they can see me on the 18th also. Long Beach at the Laugh Factory. So Flappers on the 24th. Long Beach, that's in Burbank.
That's in Burbank, yes.
Long Beach on the 18th.
Yes.
And then you have several other dates for the Burbank Comedy Festival.
Yes.
And what club is that
And then September, I'm all over Ventura, Harbor Comedy, and Valencia.
Ventura Harbor is all the way in Santa Barbara. So if anybody's out, wonderful comedy club.
And where else?
Where's the Burbank Comedy Club? Which one?
Burbank. Burbank Flappers.
Oh, Flappers is doing
Comedy,
that.
Yeah, Burbank Comedy Festival at Flappers. Yes.
Okay.
So
didn't know they had a comedy festival.
They do.
Wow.
Yeah, and so it's going to be super fun.
I'm looking forward to hearing all about it.
Yeah.
So we'll do a last reading,
okay,
which would be the future. What do you see in the future for me?
Let's do. Want to do 3 cards for advice? That's always a nice way to close it out.
Tell me what that is. I don't know what that means.
We'll do that. It's just 3 cards, sort of a little mantra, a little advice of what to focus on. Because we kind of did the future, didn't we, with the TV series?
Oh yes, in the next
All right. Okay. This is okay. So your 3 cards are the Devil card.
Oh.
The 9 Wands and the Temperance card. So
here. So he's doing this. So let's.
Okay.
Hold this up.
We'll go this way.
Oh yeah.
Go. I had them in order like this, and I will explain to people what the Devil card is about. Ooh, there it is. That's hard to do backwards.
That looks like my ex.
Okay. The Devil card is about the things we do to ourselves. The Devil has a belly button because he is human. And so there is something here that you are attached to, okay, that needs to be let go of. And it's very interesting, but I think I'll leave that. I'm going to leave that for 1 second.
Is that dungeon sex, maybe? Or?
Dungeon sex could be. It's time
I don't
for
do
that
it anymore,
to go.
so I've already let it go.
That is the S&M card. The 9 of Wands is about a couple of things. It's about stamina. So this could be about sex. It means you have a lot more stamina, like you're halfway through the battle to make it. So whatever this is you're working on,
At
or
this
you're
age,
over,
I'm half through. Only half? Oh my God! I thought I was in my 3rd quarter.
Whatever this issue is that's around right now that you're going through, or whatever this change is, people are learning life lessons, and everything is crazy now. So there is something going on. It is done.
This has been the year of change for me.
Oh my God, has it? And it's been. Everybody was like, screw 2016. I'm like, I have nothing good to say. 2017 has been a rat race. Like, I feel like I'm running. And so then the Temperance card means that when you get through this, balance will be restored. The Temperance card is about balance and about perfect health. So that's funny that we went from stamina to feeling healthy. And it is, and it is also, like, I just keep wanting to say balance is going to be restored when you through this lesson, which is coming, or which is.
So what else do you do other than the cards? How does it manifest itself?
The cards, you mean like ghost hunting?
Yeah. How would you do that?
Paranormal investigation. That's fabulous. I'm going in Australia, back to the Australian Paranormal Convention. Ghost hunting is a whole different thing where you go in and it's that one is way more technical. I use a lot of technical equipment to videotape voices of hauntings, noises, stuff like that. So that is much more evidence-based.
So if someone would want to call you and talk to a dead relative, would they be able to do that with you?
That would be a medium.
So that would not be you.
That is not what. No, I don't do mediumship. That's a medium that you want to talk to. And if anyone is looking for a medium, you can always email me and I'll send you in the right direction to somebody that's for real.
Do you believe in that?
I absolutely
believe. Do you believe
it.
the people are still floating around? Or do you believe, do we go someplace? Or what is your belief in that?
I believe there is a crossover. We cross over to the other side. Okay.
Do you believe the other side is here on Earth? Or here in this world?
I think it's sort of a concept that we are, that's a heavy concept. Okay. There is, like, they are here in a different dimension, in a lighter dimension. They can be here. They can cross over. They can be closer than we think. It's almost like there's an old book called Flatlands, and it's actually like a math book about these people that they're 2-dimensional. They live on a piece of paper, and this sphere comes along, and it comes through. All they see is a line that gets wider and then smaller. So it's kind of like they can't see the sphere from where they are. I think we cannot understand the next dimension from this dimension because we're 3-dimensional people in in a three-dimensional body.
I believe that. I believe that, there's somehow that when we die, that we're still here, because today you came to do my show. We did my show, and then you left, beginning, middle, and end. I don't believe that is life. There is no beginning, middle, and end. We're always here.
Right.
I think that's the problem. There is no heaven and hell. We have heaven and hell experiences here.
That's true. I am more of the feeling that I love listening to people that have near-death experiences. And from what I've found is that anyone that's had most negative, because they're all different, and it's kind of like sometimes people will say, are you a paranormal expert? And I always say, I do not like the word expert, because there is so much about the paranormal. I just say I have collected a lot of information, more so than most people. And in that, the negative near-death experiences that I've heard of, people are actually in a place that sounds like hell and looks like what Dante described and all these terrible things. But what the people that are being tortured don't realize is if they looked up, there is actually a way to exit, but they're so into their own pain and punishment that they don't go. An example.
That's what you were saying about the recovery. That's happened to me in my life, is that I'm in the process of letting things go.
Right. Yeah. But people, like, I think when your life ends, you do actually see your life, and you feel the joy you brought to others, the pain that you brought to others. So is there a God saying, you murdered 2 people, you're going to hell? No, there is a feeling and a judgment where you yourself get to feel. And that's why I think people do punish themselves. Have you ever seen this movie, What Dreams May Come?
Yes.
That is almost everything that I believe. I am right on with what that guy, where the woman was in hell because she was punishing herself. The people that we least forgive are ourselves. So the wife ended up down there because she couldn't forgive. Okay? Herself.
For the children.
Right.
Yeah. Letting that happen to her in the film, her children get killed. Yeah.
Right. So is there...
Starred Robin Williams, of all people.
I know. That was my favorite film of ever.
The impact of that film, the first time I saw it, I never had the impact again seeing it again on television, but I saw it in the movie theater. It was so big on me. It was just either you got it or you didn't. It's very similar to Field of Dreams for me too. Either you went and you got that, and you realized it, or you didn't.
See, you're one of the few people that I think I've seen that film 100 times, and I don't ever watch anything twice.
Which?
What Dreams May Come.
Yeah.
And it makes me weep at the end, because that's what I believe. There was an alternate ending to it, where do you want to go back to the next life? And they say yes. And the alternate ending was, she's going to be your doctor, and she is a sick Indian girl, and you only get to see her for an hour of your entire life. You only get to make that connection, and they say yes, because it's like, I would do anything for that. You know what I mean? Like, there was
it's just the idea that somebody loves somebody so much that they're willing to do that. And in my life, I haven't had that.
Neither.
People that would show up for you to that degree.
Yeah, but I don't think that that's my journey in this life. I think my journey's different, and I'll just get that next time, or I've had it, but this life to me feels
maybe
so
you're not
exciting.
maybe you're not open to it.
That could be true, but I have such an exciting
I think things
life.
can change, and there could be blockage, and that's what I'm finding.
Yep.
Is that there's blockage, and something happened, and I made a choice that maybe turned down another street, and I can get off that street if I want to.
Yep,
There's
I
ways.
absolutely agree. Yep,
There's ways to do it.
there's ways. And
There is. Yeah.
True.
Well, everybody wants to get a hold of Karen, go to KarenRontowski.com. If you want to get a hold of me, go to JasonStuart.com, Stuart. Apparently, I am going to be involved in a TV series soon, and I will have a boyfriend. And
I'll be sitting up straight soon enough.
Yes. And I thank you so much for doing the show.
Thank you, Eddie.
Take care, everybody. Until next week, see ya.